What's up, guys? Dr. Allan Bacon here for Maui Athletics, and today I wanted to go over a little bit of a more informal talk covering optimal sleep and how to achieve it. Prioritizing your sleep helps to optimize things such as hormonal balances, stress coping, psychomotor skills, cognitive skills, and even aids in fat loss attempts over time in a calorie deficit. Now, contrary to popular belief, 7 to 8 hours is probably not enough for an active individual. Most people need between 8, 9, or even 10 hours to fully recover from active weight training or exercise and to optimize all the benefits that they get from a healthy lifestyle. Now, since getting 9 hours of sleep is not feasible for most people, we need to make the most out of the time that we do get. So I'm compiling a list here of all of the biggest things that I would look into to make sure that you're doing everything possible to improve your quality of sleep. First, minimize stress. Anything that de-stresses you 30 to 45 minutes before you go to sleep is perfectly fine. I find for me a great thing to do is do audiobooks on Audible. That allows me to catch up on something that I find enjoyable and allows me to mentally slow down. As long as it doesn't mentally stimulate you or bombard your eyes with a lot of light, it's a perfectly fine choice. Second, sorry to the caffeine junkies in the crowd, it's smart to avoid stimulants right before bed. And the half-life of caffeine in particular is roughly 4 or 5 hours for most people. So caffeine intake should be cut off 4 or 5 hours before. In some people, the half-life of caffeine is extended because they metabolize it a little bit more slowly. And those effects can last up to 9 hours. So there are certain people that should probably cut out taking in coffee, energy drinks, pre-workouts around noon if they're going to bed anytime between 8, 9, 10 p.m. Because that mental stimulation can keep you up and can lower your quality of sleep. 3, avoid blue light about an hour before you go to bed. This is the mentally stimulating screen time that people always talk about, some of the issues that mobile phones, smartphones produce, being in front of your computer, being on YouTube late at night. And unfortunately, looking at some of the data that's come out about those blue light filters and the dimmer settings on a lot of phones, it doesn't seem to work as well as what people originally thought. So the better choice here is to cut it out entirely about an hour before bed. 4, set your room to a cool temperature. Now, this is obviously going to be different depending on who you talk to. My wife and I like to set it to subarctic temperatures. We're down at about 65 degrees every night when we go to sleep. But most people between about 65 and 70 degrees is where you should probably set your thermostat so you're cool enough to be able to sleep as deeply as possible. 5, stick to a regular circadian rhythm. That means going to bed at the same time nightly, even usually when you're going into the weekends. I know that it can be difficult, and what a lot of people end up doing is trying to catch up on sleep on the weekends. But throwing your sleep patterns off by multiple hours is never a great thing for optimal recovery and mental health. Now, sometimes this is an extremely difficult thing to do, particularly for shift workers. I know people at hospitals always have difficulties with doing this. If that's the case, just do the best you can. The other potential thing that you could do is take naps when possible. They don't fully alleviate the issues with sleep deprivation, but they do help as long as you can get 20 to 30 minutes in at a clip. 6 is a personal recommendation of mine that I've found works extremely well, and so I want to be able to put this out there so people are aware that they're there. I find getting something like a gravity mask or a gravity blanket makes a huge difference in the quality of my sleep. It's a weighted mask or a weighted blanket, and I'm sure that there are different brands out there that you can get, but these are the kinds that I've seen myself. Having that bit of extra weight does impart some, for some reason, it does make it seem like you get better quality sleep when you have those. So that's always an option for those of you that are struggling with your sleep quality. 7, cut out all light. And by cut out all light, I mean Vin Diesel from Pitch Black shouldn't be able to see in your room when you're sleeping. Even the lights from your alarm clock, from a cooling unit in the room, anything that you can cut out is a good idea. The darker it is, the easier it is for your brain to calm down and go to sleep. One of the things that I had previously mentioned, like a gravity mask, can help with that as well, but also blackout blinds are a good idea. Number 8, the final one, is assuming that you have tried all of the others in combination and you're still struggling with a little bit of sleep. What I recommend is looking into setting yourself up a sleep stack of supplements. And what I do personally is I use one Unisom, the doxylamine version, because there are multiple versions on the market. a ZMA supplement, and the one I use is either Optimum Nutrition or Swanson Vitamins makes one. Most of the ZMAs on the market are dosed the same, just follow label directions on that, and 1 milligram of melatonin. You don't need more melatonin than that, and taking more over long periods of time can cause some problems, so try to stick to that. And I take all of those 30 to 45 minutes before I go to bed. All right, guys, give those tips a try. If that doesn't work out for you, the last thing that you should be doing is looking into something like a sleep study. There's a possibility that sleep apnea might be into play, some other issues that cause sleep disorders might be into play, and these natural type of normal remedies may not be the right choice. So figure it out, get with your doctor, and see if there's anything that they can do to help. That's it for today. Give us a like, follow, and share, and I'll see you next time.